Okay, let's go see what the guys can teach us this morning for when you're on the trail. Okay, good morning. So basically what we're going to do here is by screwing the adjuster screw on the derailleur lever out, we're increasing the cable tension, which will just help the derailleur shift up slightly better as we increase that cable tension. If we need it to go down a little bit better or to align with a slightly lower blade, we would just release the cable tension by screwing that adjuster screw in. We'll have a look a little bit later how this happens with the bike on a stand. What we're looking at there is some of the bikes have adjusters on the rear derailleur, so we can do this at the back. Quite nice if you're stuck on the trail, you want to hop off quickly because you can do the adjustment at the back, as well as just have a look if the alignment is actually happening correctly. So what we're looking for is a situation where the derailleur wheels are sitting below the blade that they should be in. So if you see that the derailleur wheels are sitting slightly too high of the blade or cog that it needs to be settling into, then you would just screw your screw in the case over here, releasing the cable tension so that it dropped down into the actual blade. Not necessarily making a gear change, but just helping that noise and ghosting or ticking that you might be hearing to disappear. Later we can have a look at that it might be a stiff link going through your derailleur, and Benjamin will show us how to loosen that stiff link. What we're looking at here is whether your derailleur is straight, whether the dropout or anything is bent, and we need a situation where the wheels are below those blades. Final stages of replacing some brake pads, just screwing the pin in and adding the circlip onto the end of that. So Arthur's showing us quickly sticking the back wheel back in. Easy to just hold the derailleur down so that the chain goes past the cog. Obviously make sure that the rotor is going to sit between your brake pads, and it should just slot in nice and easily. Tighten up that skewer. These days obviously there's a few different versions of the skewers, so make sure that you know how to take your wheel on and off before you get stuck out there and you have a through axle or some other fitting that you don't know how to use. So it's good to just go through the process of some of these things even when it's not necessary. Once the wheel's in, we can just give it a spin, see that everything's aligned. In the case here, we'll see that it's spinning nice and freely because the brakes and everything were aligned. It was just a quick brake pad swap, so no issues to need to realign over there. So if your gears aren't changing up properly, when you shift up it just doesn't settle into that gear, what we need to do is just basically increase that cable tension slightly if nothing else is faulty or damaged, and we do that just either at the lever or at the back depending where your adjuster is. Just putting that screw out a little bit, just giving a bit of extra tension so that it climbs properly. Then we can obviously just check that it drops properly as well, and depending what we need to do, we can do a little tweak either which way. So what we're looking at here is basically just how the derailleur wheels are sitting nicely underneath the blades, shifting nice and crisply, and straight derailleur, straight dropout, and just up and down underneath the blades where they should be. Rotor spinning nice and freely, difficult to see here, but a nice true rotor as well, sitting in the middle of the pads. Okay, what's going on there? If you don't know how to use all your adjuster knobs on your fork, speak to your shop, get them to explain to you exactly how to set all the different adjustments there. There's some cool stuff that you can do to set it to ride exactly how you want. Low speed compression, lockout blow through force, rebound adjustment. If you don't know how to adjust these things, we'll post a video shortly, but also chat to your local bike shop or one of us to give you some pointers there. Okay, so that's your chain brake tool, obviously a little bit more industrial looking than the one that you'd carry with you on the bike. But basically what we do, put the chain in the tool, use the lever just to turn the pin through the chain to push the damaged or broken link out, so that you're left with the female piece there, which you would use to put your quick link into. Just over there, you can see it hanging there. You'd either put your quick link on that side and again in the opposite direction on the other side, or in this case what we're going to do is use Shimano's pin to fix it, being a new chain, and also the fact that Shimano do have their pins that you can use, also nice and easy to fix it up. So what we'll do, Benjamin will just push that pin through, and you'll see basically what it looks like is a double width pin that's used to push through the chain. Once that's been pushed through, we'll just break the other end of it off. So clip your chain together. Some of your chain brake tools will have special little springs in there. What that spring's for is to hold the chain together so that you don't have to have the skill to keep the two halves together as you attach the pin or the link. You would just put that spring there and it holds it together nicely for you. So there we go, put the pin in place, and again just take that chain brake tool and actually use that to then push it through. You will see there that pin had a sort of perforated section. Once it's been pushed all the way through, that's where it just gets snapped off, so that you're left with just the right width pin inside the chain. So just using that chain brake tool just to push that pin all the way through, not too far obviously, because you don't want the outer plate to peel off. Okay, check there. What Benjamin's doing there is just a bit of lateral movement just to make sure that it doesn't land up being a stiff link. So if you do have a stiff link that goes through the derailleur and causes your derailleur or wheels or anything to jump a little bit, you find that link, and then you can just do a bit of lateral movement as he did there, just to make sure that you loosen that link up a little bit.